slow southern style. A new religion that'll bring you to your knees. Black velvet, if you please. Listen to that bass line. White lightning, bound to drive you wild. Mama's baby is in the heart of every schoolgirl. Love me tender, leave some crying in the aisle. Oh, if it was the same, so sweet and true. Always wanted more, and you're longing for black velvet in that little boy style. Black velvet in that slow southern style. A new religion, they don't preach it on TV. Black velvet, if you please. Oh. Smile. Black velvet, that slow southern style. A new religion that'll bring it on TVs. Black velvet, if you please. Black velvet and that little boy smile. Black velvet and that slow southern style. A new religion that'll bring you to your knees. Black velvet, if you please. If you please. Oh, so good. So good. Little Atlanta Miles for you. I go back to like 88, 89, something like that. Ugh, forget about it. It's so good. Oh man, they just don't make music like that anymore, folks. Whew. Chills. Great voice. That bass line is killer. The drummer's just in the pocket. It's so good. And that guitar. Ah, so good. Just, if you can't tell, I am a huge music lover as I play in a band. I think I've talked with you guys about that before. And, yeah, just going and listening to some music today. Listened to some Transatlantic today. And a few others. Just, there's so many phenomenal musicians out there, especially local stuff. If you get a chance to go and see a local band, go and do it, please, because they may be even more polished than the folks that you're going to see in big stadiums and stuff like that. If you go and find a great bar band, or small club band or something like that. I don't care if it's jazz or metal or rock or blues or what have you. There are some phenomenal musicians in your town probably, unless you're out in some like Podunkville, which if you're in Podunkville, find a larger town next year, a larger city next year that's got some great live music and go and see that. Hey everybody, my name is Tom. I am the Midwest Miniature Guy. Thank you so much for coming and joining us tonight on our Sunday Night Chill stream. I appreciate it. We're just sitting here chatting. I was playing some music before, and I always like to play a song or so before we get into painting. And yeah, had to play a little Alana Miles tonight, a little Black Velvet. If you didn't hear it, boy, you missed out. Go and find it. Go and YouTube it. Bluetooth it, crank it up so that the neighbors can hear it too, because it is just a great, great song. Tonight we're going to be working on a couple of Reaper Miniatures Knights, possibly 3 of them. We'll see how far we get on them. Some of them are like about half painted because we've been working on them over the course of like the last couple of weeks, just kind of slowly painting on them and chatting and stuff like that about how to paint, which is what this stream is all about. And hey, we got 2 viewers already tonight. How are you? Thanks for following. Thanks for watching. And let's go ahead and get to it. This is the chat part, and we'll be talking throughout the evening anyway. But just I like to take about the first few minutes of the show and just ease into it, especially on Sundays. So let's go ahead and get to our screens here. I cleaned up my area a little bit. I actually cleaned my palette. It doesn't look super clean, but I used some acetone and I cleaned it up as much as I could. I've already got a little bit of paint on there already. My camera click. Oh no, it's gonna end. There it is. It's back. Because I needed to clean it up. It was getting bad. I was starting to get like paint chips, dried paint chips in my paint, which is not good. So, I wanted to show you guys what I painted earlier today, but I already put them away. I painted up a couple of 5-headed dragon dice towers today. And I already put them away. So I was going to grab them and show you, but they're already gone, so it doesn't matter now. I will say I can show you these real quick. I've got 2 of these dice towers that we're going to do. Not tonight, but I got to paint. I got to prime them first. But yeah, it's pretty cool. They are big. Ah. There's a dragon's head. If you're looking at like this camera here, you'll see it better. So, yeah. I got 2 of those to paint. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started with some other stuff here. Ooh, view. So here is one of the figures that we're going to work on. Man, can I get... There we go. So this is one of the figures that we're going to work on tonight. This is Stern Kestrelman from Reaper Miniatures. I'll just show you the tag here real quick. Stern Kestrelman 02338. And then we've got where the heck is it? There it is. We're going to paint up this guy, or finish up this guy as well. Everything just went dark. This is Huron of Anhur 02308. we're going to keep working on them. So with stern, we've got the tabard, we've got most of the armor down. We still got to do the chainmail. We need to paint the belt buckle and the belt, the wraps on the scabbard and the boots, and of course the base. And his gloves. We got gloves we got to do too. So let's go ahead and get started on this one, because this guy is going to be pretty easy. We just need to highlight his tunic and do the fur in his boots, and then he's pretty much done. So let's keep working on stern here. I'll give him these. Alright, so I believe we used some brilliant blue on his tunic. So now we're going to use some cyan blue. Sure, yeah. Pokey thingy. There's my pokey thingy. Only need just a little dot of that. Grab my trusty size 1 here. Sorry, my nose is a little stuffy. It's very dry down here. I've said this all the time. It's dry here in Minnesota. It's because of the weather. It's very cold out right now. Tomorrow's high is supposed to be minus 25. Oh, excuse me. It makes me and everybody here in Minnesota very tired. We're very sleepy during the winter. We pretty much just want to hibernate. That's our goal, is to just hibernate throughout the winter. Those of you in sunny locales, God bless you. God bless you. We want to be there. We do. We want to be there. Because at least then we'd be awake. Alright, we're just gonna... Can you guys all see that? Yeah, it was so cold out. We went grocery shopping on Friday night instead of normally my wife and my mother-in-law would go. My mom-in-law is like, I don't really need anything, and I've already picked up everything I need. She did that on like Wednesday or Thursday because the cold was coming. And she's like, it's up to you all to go do your thing. If you need stuff, go get it. And I'm like, oh, goody. So we went right after work on Friday. And oh, it was windy, cold, and just brutal, and I hated it. Blind Jedi, hey, how are ya? I'm doing alright. We're surviving the cold here, as I'm complaining about it. Lovely Arctic blast that we got. I'm sure if Tux was in, he'd be like, it's 70 here in New Orleans. How are you, Blind Jedi? I hope you're doing alright. Oh, you're in Victoria, BC? Yeah. That's why you can. Okay. For some reason, I thought you were East Coast in the U.S. I love Victoria, by the way. It is such a beautiful, beautiful area. I was up there, at least it was when I was there. I was up there when I was 12. So, um, yeah, it's, I enjoyed the heck out of it and would love to go back. I just love the ferry trip from Seattle on up there. It was like an 8 hour ferry trip, and I thought it was very cool. I did. I had a good weekend Friday after getting grocery shopping and stuff done. Um, I came home and we did dinner and um, then I sat and I played Red Dead Redemption until like 1 a.m. And then yesterday, that's pretty much all I did. It was like 12 o'clock hit or something like that. And Kim was like, I just want to watch a movie with you tomorrow or, later. You can do whatever else you want to do the rest of the day. And I'm like, great. We're in pajamas. It's too freaking cold out to go do anything. I'm just going to sit and play Red Dead and relax the entire day. So I had a blanket on me. I had two puppies, were bouncing back and forth between Kim and I. And yeah, I just played Red Dead all day until like 8 o'clock last night. So I started at like noon and played till 8. With a couple breaks in there, like to let the dogs out and grab some water and stuff like that. And then at 8 o'clock we watched The Menu, which I thought was good. And Kim didn't like. But I'm like, that was an interesting concept for a story about retribution. Jedi says, still is beautiful to be honest. A lot more people live here. If you ever come up again, we'll have to connect at a local spot. Absolutely. Yeah, if I ever get up that way again, I would love to show my wife that area. She's never been to BC. So I'd like to take her to Vancouver and Victoria in the summer. not not now. We got enough snow and cold. So I added a little bit of dragon blue into our cyan blue because I didn't want it that bright yet. Hey, we got 4 people watching. Hello, everybody. How's it going? And I just want to hit some of the edges here. This is kind of our Sunday night just chill stream. We sit and we paint. We chat about what's going on. You guys only get snow like once a year. It's not bad winter. You really? Okay, well, I suppose you're an island out in the middle of the ocean. Yeah. And it's western, so it's kind of like London weather, if I remember correctly. Like I grew up in the Seattle area, so I remember everything was like, you know, 30 or 40 degrees, maybe, and wet, and just rain. That was kind of our weather, our winter weather in Seattle. Very much like England, yeah, yeah. You're on that kind of like the same like parallel area. Like Seattle, Victoria is kind of like England. I vaguely remember what it was like. Vancouver weather is always worse, yeah. that's what we've got so far. Anybody see that? My hand back there, so frickin' focus. Game Master's Vault. Hola, amigo. ¿Cómo está usted? Or something like that. My Spanish sucks, so. Thank you. Yeah, he's coming along pretty well. I grab just a little bit more Dragon Blue here. Try not to mix it in. And then today was kind of the same. I didn't play any video games, but I just came down here. Kim wanted to watch ice skating. And I'm not like your typical guy who's just like, oh, ice skating, yuck. I'm just not a fan of the sport. It's fine, you know. People enjoy it. It's great. I'm just not a fan. There's not too many winter sports I enjoy. Like for like the Olympics. Like I'll watch the ice skating with Kim, because I know that's what she likes. And you know, I'm impressed. You know, those kids can skate, man. I can't do that. I'm just not, you know, I'm not just gonna sit down and watch it to watch it. But living in the state of hockey, I'm not a hockey fan either. Hope that doesn't offend you, Blind Jedi. Or Game Master. Game Master's here in Minnesota, so just not a huge hockey fan, or just winter sports fan. Like outside skiing stuff, whatever. I think one of the reasons why is that I went skiing one time when I was in 7th grade. And while I was skiing, and I wasn't doing super great, I ended up getting caught in somebody's ski tracks. And by the time I was able to get myself unstuck, when I did that, I went plummeting off a mountainside and landed, thankfully, in a pile of fluffy snow, but darn near head first into it. So, like, yeah, I'm not a fan of outdoor winter sports. Or basketball or baseball, yeah. Game Masters Vault says, I mean, I'll watch and cheer for the local teams if they're in the playoffs and all, but I'm more NFL. I mean, oh, there's so many things that I could say about the Vikings. Just grasping defeat from the jaws of victory, like we always do. It's just kind of sad. They had such a good run this year, too. Oh, well, what are you going to do? See, now, I am a baseball fan. I am a huge baseball fan. No, I'm not so big that I know, like, all the stats and I know all the players or anything like that. I love the game of baseball. So I will sit and watch that, and I like watching the Twins and whatever. But I enjoyed playing it when I was a kid. I just love baseball, love the aspect of it. And I played football too. I mean, that was more just like pickup games and stuff like that. I was never like the only time that I played baseball was in little league, or if we did like pickup games or something like that. But your baseball team, yeah, Blind Jedi, the baseball team since you were a kid with the Seattle Mariners. Yep, same. Especially when I lived out there. Yeah, talk about being a glutton for punishment. We had some great players in the '80s and '90s, though. Great players for the Seattle Mariners. We had Randy freaking Johnson. One of the best pitchers in baseball. And we they traded him to the freaking Diamondbacks. Ugh. Anyway. And then didn't they go and win like a World Series or something like that after Randy got traded? I think so. Using a little bit of light blue here, I'm going to do just a quick little border area. Yeah, Johnson, Griffey Jr., Martinez. Yeah, yeah. Never had the right support. You're absolutely right. For us out here in Minnesota, I always said that the Twins are the major league. Uh, what I call it, the MLB farm, the farm team for the MLB. Because every time a player would get good, they'd be like, "Oh, we can't afford him anymore. So instead of paying him what he's worth, or whatever, we're just gonna trade him." And then the next team he goes to the playoffs or whatever. It's so freaking annoying. Yeah, see, he won the World Series with the giant with Arizona. Friggin'. Anyway, hi everybody. This is now a sports commentary um, channel with some miniature painting thrown in. Hey, there's our little border there on the tabard. Just something quick, nothing fancy. We do the same thing here. Zoop, 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 zoop. But hey, that's one nice thing about doing a chill Sunday night stream is that we're just chatting, painting, relaxing before the bombardment of Monday. I don't know. I'm thinking about taking a 3-day weekend. Just call in tomorrow. Probably shouldn't do that because I just had my review last week and they were like, "Oh, you're like Mr. Reliable. You're always here. You know how to use your PTO very well." I know, because everybody else calls in on Fridays and Mondays and any other day that begins in Y. So I always have to be here. That's okay. I'm gonna have some time off here in this next month to get some stuff taken care of. I got stuff. I got Con of the North coming up. Which is why I'm trying to get some of these figures done. There, that's a nice little border. Quick and easy, just a little line right around there. Not bad. And we gotta do his hair and his face too. Holy crud. What am I doing here, Nelson? Jeez Louise. Your current video game that you're addicted to is Witcher 3 there, Jedi? Nice. Yeah, I haven't gotten into the Witcher series, but I've heard they're really good. Yeah. Yeah, I've been pretty much playing Red Dead. I mean, I took a break, let's see, last year around this. Well, yeah, it was right after Con of the North last year. So mid-February, Kim got me Horizon The Forbidden West. And I was like, yep, this is what I'm playing until I'm done with it. I also had to go out and buy a new memory thing because I had too many games on my PlayStation, so I had to get rid of a few. There's a few games I just hadn't played, and then I'd probably have to go back and start over anyway. Like I had Dishonored, and I had Kingdom Come Deliverance, which they're fun games. I was trying to get into the storyline, and I couldn't. It was bothering me for some reason. I may go back and replay them. So for the skin, I'm using the bronze skin triad. So this is I already did the shadow, then I did a wash. Now this is the bronze skin, and then we'll do the bronze highlight. Yeah. And then the other game that I was playing quite a bit was Jedi Fallen Order, which I need to go back and keep playing that. I haven't finished it yet. That was just one game where I was like, oh, we're just going to keep going back and forth to the same planets over and over again until you find all the stuff. And if you don't find all the stuff, and you don't get all the widgets, then you can't keep going through the game. And I'm like, this is going to get old real quick. Now, granted, I love the storyline of the game, but I just need to sit down and keep playing it. I'll have to take a break from Red Dead and keep going on that one. Yeah, I did hear Witcher 3 is just awesome, and I may have to look into getting that one. Ooh, don't hit the mic. So here's our bronzed highlight. I'm going to mix this right into our mid-tone, and then I'll put a little bit over here, because we're just doing his face. We don't have to do any muscles or any hands or anything like that. And pretty much the one thing that I always do when painting faces is, like, I start with the nose, and then I'll do the forehead or the eyebrows, and then I'll do the cheekbones and the chin. So like his nose is right here, so I'll do the bridge of the nose. His nostrils, if they're defined well enough, yep. And then we'll look at his eyebrows here, we'll go, okay, well, that little section there, and then cheekbones. I wish I had a figure or even a bust big enough to show you how I'd really like to do faces. Now granted, you could do it on this size. It just takes a lot of precision, and I like to try and keep most of these figures down to just a couple of hours, because most of the stuff should be for gaming purposes anyway. They fought a... Oh, nice. Jedi says, last Friday when I played D&D with my son, they fought a roper. They were terrified. Excellent. It's cool to hear that, about your D&D game with your kids, especially when it comes to some of the monsters that you're throwing at them, like ropers and stuff like that. Not everything has to be... Ooh, excuse me. Not everything has to be, like, super pumped up. Alright, so here's our highlight color. Once again, bridge of the nose. Use the side of the brush sort of just to get the very edge of the eyebrows. The top part of the cheekbone. My son struggled with understanding why his druid had less hit points than the fighter, trying to explain that not everyone is not good at everything. Was a big oh yeah, was a big lesson. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, yeah. The fighter doesn't cast spells. All works out absolutely. Your fighter gets to do one, maybe two things. I guess it depends too. And like, if you were playing like old school D&D, like AD&D or something like that, your fighter was the tank. Like they didn't have spells. They might have had some magical weapons or armor or something like that. Um, this is especially coming from me as a wizard player. I was not the most sympathetic about his HP complaining. Yeah, yeah. I think there's a song out there called "Always the First to Die" about wizard players and their characters always kicking the bucket before they get a chance to do stuff. Once you get a wizard though up past a certain level, like I think like what, you start getting third level spells at what, fifth level or something like that. So now you've got your fireballs and your lightning bolts. I mean, granted, you got to survive to get there. But you get a wizard up to like level 9 or 10. Give me a break. There's a reason why you survived that long. Or if you like multi-class or dual class, like fighter mage or something like that. Here, I'm gonna wield this sword and cast lightning bolt at you, you know. Or if you go back, I don't know if they still have them in fifth ed. They might be a subclass or something that you can grab now. But there was um, a class that you could take back in second ed that was the Blade Singer, and yeah, Elven Blade Singer. So you use two swords, but if you put one away, that I mean, they were basically your fighter wizard type, and it was ridiculously silly. Yes, yeah, wizards are disgustingly awesome. But yeah, you've got to have your meat shields out there. The 5E Blade Singer wizard archetype is that they get extra attacks and a really nice AC boost. My favorite wizard archetype by far. Yeah, the Blade Singer is great, but you can see in second edition, like the only race at the time that could do that um, were elves. So if you played an elf, then you could be a Blade Singer because that was the only subclass or archetype or whatever um, that was different than anything that was out there. Um, I don't know in fifth ed if it's just elves that can do that or if it's anybody that can be a Blade Singer now. Which to me that kind of set off like, oh, elves are good at just about everything, but they're kind of squishy, and so if they were like an elven wizard, you definitely want them in the back so they can toss spells at stuff. But every once in a while, you get one of these guys that can whip your butt and cast spells. So um, they did remove that restriction. That's too bad. Because quite honestly, like a human fighter, I mean, even in third ed, like, oh, you get this many feats at first level, and you get this, and you can do that, and it's like, oh, I'm a human fighter, I can do everything. Yeah, when races have different classes and things like that, or kits, we called them kits back in second ed, to make your character a little bit different. Like, oh, you're a barbarian kit, rather than just now the barbarian as a class. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I guess you could homebrew it. You could say, oh, in my D&D world, only elves can be blade singers because they're trained. They're the only ones that know the true songs of the blades that they carry. There you go. Now you've homebrewed it. I've homebrewed something. Go use it. Not even. I don't charge for ideas. What color boots do I want to do this guy? He's already got kind of an orangey under tunic. He's got the blue over tunic. We give him a red scabbard. He's gonna have black belt. He's gonna have a black belt. I did a second level Wizard Blade Singer dip on my Arcane Trickster Rogue in one game. Oh my gosh. What? That sounds just insane, Jedi. That sounds crazy. Wow. Did my Oh. What color do I want to do his boots? Anybody? Anybody that's in chat? I don't want to do him red because I already did a red scabbard. As I look at all the colors here, I could do purple. I don't want to do green. Could do white. Blind Jedi says I'm big into min-maxing, mix-maxing, and number crunching. My DM friends tend to use me as a power build arms dealer for bad guys to challenge the party. Ooh, there you go. And blah. What do I want to do? I know. We'll do a purple gray. How about that? We'll do some dark elf skin tone for his boots. Not that they're, made out of dark elves, but just the colors that we're going with here. Kind of a purpley gray. Purpley gray, purpley gray. Dark elves aren't obsidian anymore, they're purpley gray. Always good to challenge the party anyway. Yeah, this is a good call. It's not black and it's not blue or anything weird. Oh, great question. Blind Jedi asked if I have any favorite miniature painters. that I like to see their. He says one that you like to see their finished work. I have several. Um, I can't say that they're. There are miniature painters out there that I admire and that I am friends with, and the ones that I really like to see their stuff when they're done. One of them is James Wapple. If you visit his Twitch stream or his Facebook page, Wapelius, or James Wapple, you'll see some really fantastically painted minis. And he uses oil paints. So it's very unique the way that he does his painting. Um, I love Rhonda Bender's work. It's completely different than what James does. James is very much, oh, we're blending everything right here on the model and stuff like that. And Rhonda is very much more methodical about the way that she paints. Bird with a Brush is her blog, so you can go do a Google search for her. Um, Great stuff. Rhonda Bender is. She also has done work for Reaper and Dark Sword and stuff like that. Most of the painters that I know have done work for those guys. Um, Robert Cruz here in Minnesota has also done some work for Reaper and a few others. Is a great mini painter, but hasn't done it a whole lot lately, which is unfortunate because I'd love to see more of his recent stuff because his older stuff is mind-blowing. Jen Haley does a great job. Marique Reimer. Soshi, I can't remember what her last name is, but Soshi's Minis, she does a great job. Um, there are a couple others out there. I'm going to blank on his name. There's Angel Giraldez or Heraldez, who incorporates airbrush as well as a paintbrush into his work. So yeah, there's a lot of European painters that I don't even know their names, that I just see their work every once in a while pop up, that are doing scenes on the horses' tabards and stuff like that that are just amazing. So if I ever got to that level, I'd that's all I would do. I think it's Sergio Calvo or something like that. I know there's Roman Lapotte. Is Lapont? Yeah, I think that's his name. Who is a great miniature painter as well. So yeah, there's so many out there, and ones that I follow either on Facebook or Instagram or both or Twitter, just because I want to see their work. But yeah, those are the ones that I gravitate towards. Aaron Lovejoy is a great painter. I just wish he was a better human being. I'm not going to get into that in a stream because, yeah. There are a lot of folks right now that are doing work with Dark Sword miniatures that I enjoy their stuff. So it's not so much that I have a favorite. It's more like who's inspiring me right now to get better.
And while I might not be able to take 100 hours on some of these figures, just because I have other commissions and stuff coming up, I still want to make them look good. Good enough for tabletop. Where is my... Was that the... Yep. As my old guitar player used to say, good enough for rock and roll. We're going to just take that. What we're going to do is gloves in this same color here. Yeah, Angel Giraldez's or Heraldez's stuff is absolutely breathtaking. He does some fantastic work. If you haven't seen Roman LaPonte's stuff, go check that out as well. He's been doing Warhammer 40k shadow boxes. Just stop. It's crazy. His lighting and stuff that he does is phenomenal. Gamers Vault says, I've been just trying to get things table ready and painted as fast as I can this past couple weeks. 2 weeks ago, I painted 9 minis. Last week, 15 and 7 today. Hey, there you go. And that's the other thing too. If you're using like the slap chop method or dry brushing or whatever, if you're just trying to get minis on the board, great. If you're using them for gaming, you don't have to spend 80 hours on a figure, or anything silly like that. Like, because I do commission work, I charge $20 an hour with a 2-hour minimum. So it's $40 for a miniature this size. If I'm painting my own stuff and I'm just sitting here on a lazy Saturday and I don't have any commissions coming in, I might put, 8 to 10 hours on a figure. But that's only if I really want to, I want to try this technique, or I want to try to bump my painting skill from this level to this level. My son enjoyed playing Star Wars Legion, but when he learned he had to paint the minis, he was right out. Oh, that's too bad. Get him to start playing the Empire, and then it's just black and white. Just have him paint stormtroopers. Or don't paint them. Doesn't matter. I don't think you need to paint them if you just want to play the game. Especially Legion. Oh, I was thinking no Legion. Yeah, you should definitely should. But for if you were doing, was it? Oh shoot, what's the other Star Wars mini game out there? It was there was Legion and there was Imperial Assault. That was what I was thinking of. Yeah, well, Star Wars Legion 2, you got to put the figures together. I've done a few of those. I did the initial box set of Stormtroopers, and I painted them up, and then I started adding in blue striping and stuff like that, so that they looked like they were from Vader's Fist, the wonderful 501st. And I took them to Con of the North, and they didn't even place in the sci-fi category, so I was bummed about that. And then I tried to sell them, thinking, Legion figures, maybe I can sell them and, whatnot. Nope. No interest. So now I just got a bunch of Stormtroopers. I guess what I should have done is I should have taken him to one of the other local gaming cons and done that. Gamers Ledge, what's happening? My stream is in sub or follower mode only? What? How do I get out of that? Hold on. Maybe that's why I'm not getting raids. I say you're raiding with a party of 16. You should be able to. Party of 16? Holy cow. I'm in my dashboard. Where's my dashboard? Stream manager. Settings. Stream. That's clips. No, raids are good. Denial, no. Teammate channels, I follow channels. Any partner channel and any affiliate channel. Well, let's just unclick those then. We'll save those. And clips are enabled. Latency. Channel. Moderation. Oh, I should do that. Already did. Never mind. Alright, back to that. Actually, that's okay. If you chatted, I didn't catch it because I was doing other stuff, so I was in a different window. If you said anything, please say it again. Alright, I think we're back. Saturation settings, moderation, 3 to 4 down, follower only mode drop down. Well, what? Oh, followers only. There we go. Off. There, now it should be off. No, there we go. Hey, 10 viewers. Nice. Hey, everybody. So for people that are coming over from Gamers Ledge, my name is Tom. I'm Midwest Miniature Guy. I paint minis. I've been doing it for over 20 years now, and professionally for about 12 or 13. And tonight's just kind of my chill and chat stream, so that's why I was like, well, we're just gonna fix stuff. I'm gonna move my camera here just a bit. And normally right about here. And I want, no, let's go that way. There we go. Now we're more in the center of things. Devious Dungeons Painting. Hey, how are ya? Nice to see ya. Enjoy your pork loin. That sounds delicious. And yeah, I actually have one in my freezer. I may have to get that out for next weekend and do a pork loin. Sounds divine. Can everybody see this? I'm trying to get... There we go. There we go. Hey, everybody. Ta-da. See, it's starting to come along. We're just using a little bit of a purpley gray here to highlight our gloves and boots. GL, thanks for the lurk. Appreciate it. Enjoy your pork loin. Man, now I want a barbecued pork loin. If it wasn't winter here, I would break out my barbecue. But I didn't barbecue at all last summer. I had no one to barbecue for. I hate getting it out, firing it up, and only making stuff for me. Like if I'm gonna have like a barbecue, I want people over. Everybody was busy last summer. Ooh, Philly cheesesteak. Oh gosh darn it, you guys. It is 9 o'clock here. I have had supper. Do not make me hungry. I am a fat guy. Okay, I don't need to be. I am full. I am full. I am full. I just have to keep telling myself I am full. Philly cheesesteak sounds great too. Gosh darn it. You know what? And it's getting closer to St. Patrick's Day. I am jonesing for a Reuben. I want. It's so unhealthy for me. Which is why I only have like one a year. And I do it during during March, because we're normally playing at a bunch of pubs. So what do I do when I show up? I order myself a Reuben. have a good night, Gamers Vault. Yeah, yeah. Get some more of those minis painted. Yeah. So I ordered myself a Reuben, and that's dinner for the evening. While I actually go play it off for the most part. Where was I going? Now I don't know where I was. Oh yeah, no. I want a nice. Semi-light but neutral color here. I think I want. What is this? Light umber? Mahogany. Silver in this? Silver. Nice. Yes, Gamers Vault calls everybody nerds. Because hey, if you're in here watching mini painters, man, we're nerds. Like, we're playing role-playing games and fiddling, farting around with math rocks. Heavenly Deuce, what am I doing here? There we go. He himself is a nerd. Hey, we got 9 viewers. Awesome. Thanks for sticking around, folks. I appreciate it. If you like what you're watching and you like the banter and just having fun, please give me a follow. I'd appreciate it. If you really, really, really like it, then give me a subscription. Subscribe. You could subscribe with Prime too. But that's only if you really, really want to. You had to cancel your game night tonight because of snow? That sounds horrible. I'm sorry. Where are you getting snow at? And is it headed our way? Are you out east or out west? Northern New York. Okay. Yeah, you guys are you're getting the stuff that we had a few days ago. You're welcome. I'm in Minnesota. I'm in central Minnesota. I'm just north of the Twin Cities of Minneapolis, St. Paul. As we like to call it here, the Northern Metro. So yeah, that's where I'm at. They're probably equally northern. Yeah, if you go straight across, yeah. Probably. This is some just plain silver from Procryl. I used some light umber for the wraps on the scabbard. Now I'm going to use some plain silver for his chainmail. Someone said it's get drunk and eat Philly cheesesteaks. Well, there you go. And we're going to use this on his belt buckle, if I can do it. And then on a little tab of his belt here. And then we'll get a little bit off. Need more ice back in view. Alright, enjoy. And we'll start working on the chainmail here. And it's okay if the chainmail looks like that for right now, because I can always go in with a wash and get back down into those recessed areas. So I'm just going over the tops of it here. There's a little bit right there. And right here. And then I think what I want to do is take a little bit of this, re-highlight up a couple areas here. There we go. if I can get this. Trying to get some more light. There we go. There, now you can see him a little bit better. Now, Devious, are you really going to behave yourself? Come on now. Alright, so we got that much done. We just need to do his hair. Let's go ahead and go back to this one, where we're just going to do the tunic quick. Right here. We are not going to give him a border because he's got some fur as his border. We're going to grab a little bit of this brown though. Hey, Devious Dungeon, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. He even subscribed with Prime. Look at that. Much appreciated. Get this little section. Got a couple little areas right here that hold the breastplate on. And we're just going to highlight the gloves here real quick. You always forget the Prime sub? Yeah, no, it's nice. Thank you. I appreciate it. I think I want to use this brown here on the fur, because then I can highlight up that. Because I don't want to do it just white. I want it to be something different. I'm just going to go on like so. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my finger out of the way here. Just the way that I hold stuff. Alright, that's looking pretty good too. Let's see, what if I took a little bit of this, and mixed it in with this. Yep, there we go. This is actually an old metal miniature from Reaper. This is Huron of Anhur. I went out and bought, I went onto the Reaper site and I ordered some metal figures. I'm about to do it again because I want to get some outlaws and some lawmen for my game that I'm running. And now that I've got a couple weeks, I'm hoping I can get them in and get them painted. Do I have any Bones minis? Yeah, I got 3 right now on my painting table, but they're over there. And while I don't mind, I like the Bones USA and the Bones Black, because they're more of a rigid plastic than the original Bones stuff. I I will always love metal figures. Yeah, I've been basically switching out a lot of my stuff for games for plastic figures, especially bone stuff, just because I know that I'm not going to break them. I try not to use like resin minis too much because I feel like they can be a little too brittle, even though I have some sitting on my painting table right now. But yeah, other than that, I've been using mostly plastic figures for gaming if I can. If I have to use some metal ones, I will. But slowly trying to wean my either my DM, depending on who they are, or my players away from the classic metal figures. So this one here I'm excited about painting, and I want to try and get him done before Con of the North. But this is an awesome Bard figure that I got, and he's resin printed. I just love the pose. You haven't painted a metal mini in 10 years? Yeah, I still have a few metal figures sitting on my shelves that I haven't painted yet. And I think I've got a handful of them in my drawer here. Yeah, I'm looking forward to painting him. And I've kind of started on this cute little Displacer Beast cub. In fact, I should have used some of the purpley gray, but that's all right. We'll get him going. I just like the fact that he's gnawing on his tentacle. A cute little guy. My wife showed me that in the bar, and she's like, "We have to get one." I'm like, "We are. I'm getting that one." We've got a few on here that I can show real quick that my friend Peter printed for me. We've got a ghost pirate and then a skeleton pirate. So, very slowly working on them. Because I've had other stuff that I needed to paint. This is actually one. I've got a 3D printer and I should fire it up again. But this is the first miniature that I printed was this Mind Flayer. And I got him off of Thingiverse. The back's okay. It's a little beaten up. But I glued him onto this base, so I'm hoping to start painting him at some point in time. I've got kind of a cool octopus photo that I grabbed offline. Um, that I want to do his head. Like, yeah, he's pretty cool. I think he's holding a brain too, so that's even cooler. So I get to do a pink brain. That. What's this color? Golden brown. Ooh, let's try this. Yeah, he's a pretty cool figure. I even like him a little bit better than the Reaper ones, the Bathalions that they put out. Yeah. Oh, ooh, okay. It's a very gold. If I mix it in with that, what's it gonna? Okay. Well, it's just like, I mean, they're classic Mind Flayer wearing capes and robes and whatever, but they're not, there's nothing really super dynamic about them. They're holding, you know, wizard staves or something. They're just very static poses. And while I'm not a huge fan of the WizKids figures, normally because their details are totally obscured by the primer that they put on them, I think people have had more success actually stripping the primer off of them and repainting them that way after giving them a reprime. That I might start doing that if I ever get any more WizKids models. Their poses are a little bit more dynamic, but not by much. Which is sad because Mind Flayers could have such cool poses and make them bigger. I mean, they are large-ish creatures. So we added in some golden brown into our light umber. Now we're just going to go straight golden brown. Let's see what this does with for the fur here. I'm just going to dot it here. Just a couple spots. We'll say around the top. That actually worked really well. That looks pretty good. I may have to remember that. That's some nice kind of non-traditional, non-white fur. Being sponsored by WizKids, I always hated their character figures. The bigger monsters are cool for the most part. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I've got one right here that I picked up. That's absolutely super cool. I love the Dire Troll. Great figure. Great. Come on. Come on, camera. There we go. Great figure. Great details on him. I'm still kind of messing about because I'm not sure if I really like where I was going with him when I first started. I might want to make him a little bit more green, and I realized that there were more eyes than I thought there were. And definitely more heads coming out. Like, he's got the 4 main heads here, but then there's a face here, there's a face here, there's a mouth here, there's a face here. Yeah, I didn't realize how many arms he had, too. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 arms. I think I want to add some more, like, lighter greens up in here. I don't know, a lot to him. And I remember painting this. I painted this during Halloween of 2021, and I painted him relatively quick because it was my Halloween episode. And I was trying to use the colors that came with him, and yeah, the paints that came with him I just didn't like. And they're Vallejo paints. They're just not my favorite. Not my favorite. Pardon me. Doing a lot of talking, gotta get some more water here. Oh, thank you, Blind Jedi. Yeah, it's fun. Vallejo is not Pro Acryl. Yeah, it's also not Reaper or Citadel or AK Interactive or any of those. I mean, Vallejo, the good stuff. Like, I've got some really great Vallejo paints, but the ones that come with the Paint Night kits, which is where the Dire Troll is from, just don't. Just don't. Stick with the paints that you have. Seriously. You haven't tried those? Yeah, they're not great. So, these are the Vallejo paints that they come with. They've got some cool colors. Like, I like the dark sea green. The black red is pretty good. I mean, all of these are decent colors, but I'm wondering if they would be better in the bottle rather than in something like these. Because what I'd want to do is actually, you know what? should have done this when I first got it. Because now I can take them separately and go and shake the snot out of them. Because they need to be shaken really well. Because if you just pop them open, they're separated from, you know, the pigment and from the I can't remember what the other stuff is called. But that's the one set that came with it. This is the other set. These are the greens. Like, these are cool greens. Park green flat. Park, you know, I got 2 of those. A black green, a paradise, or was it parasite brown, beastie brown, and a reflective green. I don't know why it's reflective, but like they're cool colors, and I probably should use them more. But I hide them away. Oh, the reflective green is a medium? Oh, goodness. See, I'm just going to snip these off. I'm going to throw them in my other drawer so I remember that I have them, so I can at least try them again. Let's see if I move that back further that way, if I can put them. Nope, I'm gonna lose them. Where can I put these in the room? Man, I am running out of room of paints. Let's put them right here. Oh, pigment is mixed with the medium. Yeah, that's why it separates. Exactly. Yep. That's the other part of it that I was trying to remember. All right, we're gonna grab some. Speaking of good colors, this is the Dark Shadow, Dark Skin, and Dark Highlight. We're gonna use this on his boots. Just a little dab will do ya. But maybe I'll do a stream. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I'll find a figure. Maybe I'll find a figure, and I will use those colors on that figure. And maybe I'll just try and get them on my palette rather than, you know, taking them from the. I gotta get them on my palette to thin them down and all that fun stuff, but. Maybe I'll do the Bard in some of those colors. Alright, so we went with our dark shadow. Here's our dark skin. Basically, this is just a dark brown. Really great for doing, you know, a darker skin. Either, you know, I guess I should say Central South American or even African skin tone. And you can add in, you know, different colors and stuff like that, of course, too, for your highlights. And Yeah, Vallejo metallic colors are great. I haven't had a chance to try them out. I have seen them being used, and they look super smooth. I have recently got to try the Two Thin Coats brand by Duncan Rhodes. Uh, my friend Amber bought into that Kickstarter, and I was pretty pleased with those. Not regular Vallejo metallics, the metal color ones. Okay. Alright, here's our dark skin highlight. And like I said, I'm just using these, not as skin tone or anything like that. I'm just using them as a dark brown because I wanted the boots to be a darker brown than the belts. And we're done with those. Alright, we're going to give these guys some kind of dirty blonde hair. So I'm going to use a little bit of Baylor brown. And we're just going to start at the top of his head here. That. We could almost call that the Luke Skywalker dirty blonde. I think we're going to do the same with this guy. I think in my head canon here, these guys are brothers. Both wearing the same color blue tunics. Both knights. I do. I do a lot of commissions. Thanks for asking there, Devious Dungeon. I do a lot of commissions. In fact, I've got 2 behind me that I need to work on. But I'm trying to get some dice towers painted first. I'm working with Giant Turtle Creations, which is a company out of a local company out of Minnesota here that does 3D printing. They do dice towers and mugs, and I've been working with them now for a couple of years, painting up the stuff that they print, which is always fun. The other commissions that I've got that I need to work on are for Marvel Crisis Protocol. One of the next batch I got from my friend Patrick. I know him from my local game store. He's actually the owner's son, and he's one of the I think he's one of the managers there. Great guy. And so I'm doing some more for him, and then I've got the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants from my friend Nate, who I used to paint up a bunch of Warhammer 40k stuff for him, and now he's moved on to, I know that he still plays that, and he's got some Age of Sigmar stuff. Now, I don't play any of these games, I just know about them. It would be crazy to get into any more games. What? Come on, phone, stop being a pain in the butt. I don't know why my phone thinks I'm in Duluth, but apparently it's -8 up there. Hey, it's 0 here in Coon Rapids. It feels like -13. What's it? Feels like -18 in Duluth. That's always nice. Good grief. Freaking cold. That's all I got to say about that. You had one bad customer that made you quit doing commissions, Devious. That's too bad. I had 1 or 2. One guy was just a jerk. That's all I got to say about that. And then I had another guy that was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm totally gonna come back and have you paint my stuff." And I painted one figure for him, and I never heard anything back from him. And sure, it made me mad, but you just gotta. For me, it was just like I just gotta keep going. Worry about the jerks later, or not even worry about them. You're gonna get a bad customer or whatever. I've never had anybody leave me a bad review, and I've only ever had to ban someone from my Facebook page once. Well, I guess I have to say twice, because there's been a few bots and stuff that were posting stuff on my Facebook page that were like, at the time, ISIS related, and I'm like, whoa, wait a second. I don't support any of that. They were saying that I was sending my commission payments to members of ISIS, and I'm like, you obviously don't know me very well. Oh, there you go. You just paint what you want and auction them off. Yeah, that's definitely one way to do it too. I know a lot of folks that do that. There. Bring that section up just a little bit. And this guy's all done except for his base, so we can put him away. I'm just a farm boy that found this armor. Should have painted his sword blue. Devious, yes. I have tried to sell minis on the RPG auction group, and I had no results. Nobody took me up on it. So, I actually left the group, because I had posted several times, and then I had several posts getting taken down. And even though I was like going back and reading the rules and trying to, making sure that they were all, exactly the way they were supposed to be, I just wasn't getting the response that I wanted from there. So, yeah, and I posted some good stuff. Like I didn't post like I dry brush this in 30 minutes. No, I didn't do any of that. So yeah, I don't post a lot of my stuff on there. I don't do eBay anymore because number one, I don't take PayPal anymore, or Venmo or anything like that. It's like, if you want my stuff, you're either going to pay me cash or I can take credit cards over the phone. But, yeah. That's my experience with RPG auctions, and I did okay on eBay, but there was a lot of folks that were like, they would message me and say, why do you want $80 for that? I'm like, because I spent, 8 hours on it, and at the time I was only charging $10 an hour. And they're like, that's way too much money for that type of mini. And I'm like, okay. And now I've raised my prices. Yeah, that's the other thing. eBay gets too big of a cut. PayPal then takes their own cut of whatever you end up getting. So yeah, I just stopped using those sites. If somebody wants me to paint stuff for them, they'll contact me. Like that green. This is just dark forest green from Delta Ceramcoat. Great for basing. I mean, it's great. I mean, this is stuff that I used when I was first learning how to paint, so it's still good. You gotta water it down some, but it's still good. I'm just gonna dry brush this. Not even dry brush, I'm gonna overbrush this onto this base here. Because I've already got a nice dark undercoat. You sold several pieces on the auction group for $200 to $350. That's nice. Nice job. And I'm not going to be like the old Southern ladies do. Oh, bless your heart, isn't? Oh, well done. Good for you. No, I actually mean it. That's great. I'm sarcastic, but I'm not mean. I don't want to be mean like, when it comes to, people selling their work. It's like, no, honestly, good. That's awesome. I'm glad you got that. Because that means somebody valued your time and your effort putting into painting those figures. Alright, now we're just going to use a little bit of leaf green. And that's fine. That if those were the people that you got, then great. And I don't think you're boasting. I'm just thinking that you're stating a fact, which is fantastic. I'm just stating a fact that I got nothing. Like, my wife is still on there. Maybe I'll just ask her to start posting stuff for me. But I was starting a bid at like $40. 2-hour paint job, $40. Metal figure or even plastic figure, whatever. Yeah, and that's the thing, is I'm not going to be taking PayPal. I refuse. PayPal has screwed over so many of my friends in their small businesses that I just won't do it. My wife has her own account. I haven't even opened mine up in years. So, yeah, it's like somebody, like I was at playing a gig a few weeks ago, and somebody was asking me, are you guys on Spotify or any streaming services? And I said no, because you might pay $1 for the song that's on there. We're going to get 0.005% of that dollar that you spend. Or not, you spend 99 cents or something like that on a song, or however many plays. We're going to have to get a million plays to get like $5 or something like that. And he's like, oh, you guys should definitely go on Spotify or iTunes or Apple Music. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. You want to support him? Maybe we're just old fashioned. You want to support me as a mini painter? Contact me, and we'll go from there. Or me as a musician, I play drums and percussion, and I do background vocals for a band called The Serfs, SERFS. If you find us on Facebook, you can find us there. We just got on Instagram. We've had a Twitter for a little while, and then on Instagram it's The Serfs MN, like Minnesota. You can also find us on Reverb Nation, reverbnation.com/The Serfs. Like I said, it's SERFS, like medieval peasantry. And we play Irish, Celtic, punk music. We've got a couple of things on YouTube. Like on my Midwest Miniature Guy page, I posted our first music video, but we don't have a YouTube channel. Maybe we should. I don't know. We're just a hobby band, so we don't do a lot of, we're not out there to tour or anything like that. Mainly when I started with the band, that was almost 15 years ago. Well, actually, was 15 years ago now. You know, my daughter was in elementary school, and everybody had we all still had have day jobs and whatnot. So it's not like we're out there to tour and whatnot. But we have fun. We play local gigs around the Twin Cities area. We just got we got a really cool gig coming up for St. Patrick's Day this year, where we're going to be playing at CHS Field, home of the St. Paul Saints minor league baseball team, an affiliate of the Twins. And we're going to be playing there after the St. Paul St. Patrick's Day parade. So I'm pretty freaking excited about that. I'm calling it our first stadium gig, which is really funny. It's definitely kind of come full circle, because we ended up playing for the Saints when they were back at, like, CHS Field is their new stadium that they've had for a few years now. But we played at the old Midway Stadium in St. Paul, outside the stadium, for like their Irish night or something like that. And we had a blast. We did that a couple of times. Who is your favorite or favorites drummers? I have so many. It's crazy. I have so many favorite drummers. I guess it depends on the genre of music. So for me, if it's prog rock, it would be Neil Peart, Mike Portnoy. Those are my two prog rock drummers that I love. For just all around rock drumming, crazy enough to say, Adi Desbro from Great White. He actually kind of got me into playing drums when I first heard their stuff. I think Matt Sorum from Guns N' Roses and Velvet Revolver is a great rock drummer. For jazz, I love Tommy Igoe. Is a great, just all around great drummer. But for jazz, he's a great drummer. Of course, the best jazz drummers out there, big band drummers, Gene Krupa, Buddy Rich. Gosh, there's so many. Steve Gadd. Steve Smith from Journey is a great drummer. Yeah, so I'm influenced by all of these different players. Just because, I grew up listening to a lot of different music. Nick Mason from Pink Floyd, great drummer. So underrated, but he's perfect for that band. All right, well, there's our one fighter type. He's all done. Quick and dirty. Couple hours. Our other two-handed. The brother. He's all done. So I'll get some photos of those and post them up on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, and on my Discord. Well, thank you all for watching tonight. I appreciate it. Devious Dungeons Painting, thank you for subbing again. I much appreciate that. Blind Jedi for being in here. Gamer's Ledge for raiding and bringing a bunch of people in. And Game Master's Vault for being in here. Oh, Danny Carey's a great drummer. Absolutely. Like I said, there's so many out there that I enjoy listening to. Gosh, I can't remember his name, but the drummer from Supertramp is fantastic. Ron Bushy, who's no longer with us, played on Iron Butterfly's album, Inagata Devita. That was one of the things that my mom was like, If you're going to be a drummer, you're going to learn how to play the solo from In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. And I did. The other solo that she wanted me to learn how to play was Caravan. Ricky Rocket, he's good at what he does. I'm not a huge fan of Ricky Rocket. Um, he's just kidding. Yeah, he's he's great for Poison, just like Tommy Lee is great for Motley Crue. He's good at what he does and what he brings to that band. Um, I think Blas Elias from um, Slaughter is a great drummer, and he's played on a bunch of different stuff. So yeah, he's just an all around good drummer. Gosh, who else was I thinking of? The guy from Warrant actually is a fantastic drummer. If you listen to his stuff, not don't listen to Cherry Pie. Cherry Pie's a crap song, but if you listen to some of the deeper stuff, he's also I think he's a left-handed drummer as well. Not to say that they're any different than a right-handed drummer, but the way that he comes up with his parts is much different than um, some of us do. I think there was somebody else too that was an open-handed drummer. Simon Phillips. Simon Phillips is an open-handed drummer. Carter Buford from Dave Matthews Band. I'm not a huge. I enjoyed Dave Matthews music for a time, and I think Carter Buford is another phenomenal drum player. I mean, he's played in a ton of different genres of music too. So before he got in with the Dave Matthews Band, Bill Ward for Black Sabbath is good at what he does. So, but yeah, that's there's so many great drummers out there. There's a new kid. He's definitely jazz, and I saw him play Caravan. What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? It's like Necrutman, something like that. Um, Plays a cool little four-piece kit, but man, he is good. His hands are so fast, and he plays traditional grip. Um, Heck, the drummer for the Melvins is good. Taylor Hawkins for Foo Fighters was a great drummer. What a loss that was. Um, Gosh, and we lost Neil Peart like 3 or 4 years ago too. It just sucks. I hate it. But yeah. In fact, I was just listening to Test for Echo tonight, or early, not tonight, but earlier this afternoon. It's so good. Um, what was it? I think his name was. Yeah, I think it was Alan White that played for Yes, and of course Bill Bruford. So yeah. Anyway, I got to get off of here and go relax for the rest of the night. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll be back here tomorrow. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, and we'll keep painting on stuff. So have a good night, folks, and as always, happy painting. Bye.